This is just a short story today. It was my time when I was serving my time in England. I was in HMP Long Lartin. It was in Evesham. It was about 30 miles from Birmingham. Charlie Kray arrived. He was doing 12 years and he ended up next door to me. He was about 72 at the time, and I says, poor cunt, I says, he's not going to last. His brother had already died, Ronnie. Reggie was still living. And I think Reg had about a year to go before he got it. And I sat with Charlie a few times, and I says to him, did you know Arthur Thompson? And he went, yes, knew him well. Twins knew him well as well. But I never went into too much detail. And he says to me, oh, you'll meet Reg. He says, Reg is coming for a visit shortly. So along the landing phase, there was another notorious figure, Eddie Richardson, who was a good pal of mine. We were on the food boat together, me and him and Ronnie O'Sullivan. So Reg arrived, and everybody in the prison's like, oh, Reggie Cray's here and that. But when I saw Reg, read books about him and all that, he was quite a stocky wee figure, and he looked good, but he was like a frail wee man. And I think he only had about a year to go then, when they did release him, but they released him into a hospital with cancer, you know what I mean? And he had to go to a hospital for 2 weeks. Well, not a hospital, he went to a hotel for 2 weeks. He died. So anyway, back to the story. So Reggie arrived, and after a couple of days, Charlie says, you have to come in for tea with Reg and me. So I went in there with like Mr. Kray and all that, and Charlie went like, no, just call him Reg. And we're having a cup of tea, and Charlie says to me, go on, ask him the question that you've been telling me for the last few months that you might ask my brother Reg. And I was like, oh, Christ, because Charlie had been telling me that when he was out, he got 15 years, or 10 years ago, when the twins got jailed in 69. Charlie got 10 years, he says, and when he got out, he says he used to go in the QE2. He says there was film stars like George Raft and all that there, but everybody would rush up to him and go, Mr. Kray, how you doing? Can we get your autograph? How's your brothers, the twins, blah, 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 blah. So Charlie was like a celebrity figure, but Charlie was a nice guy. So anyway, so Reg arrived, so we're in having a cup of tea, and I says to him, I says, okay then, Reg, I did call him Mr. Kray, but Charlie says, no, you don't need the formalities. I says, Reg, I've got a question to ask you. They went, yes, go on, what is it, Ian? I says, me and you have got something in common. And he went, and he says, what's that? I says, we're Mammy's boys. And he just turned around and laughed and says, yes. And I says, no, I says, I remember all that, the 40s, you and your brothers, you're all smartly suited up, and you were up the stair to Violet's. That was his mother's house. And here's a wee photo of Charlie and that just now. And by the way, he says yes, and I says to him, I says, Reg as well. I says, by the way, I says, I Arthur Thompson. I was telling Charlie that he was brought up with us and all that, and he was a real deal. He went, yes, he says, Mr. Thompson came down and did a bit of work for us, and he done a bit of work for them. But I never went into too much detail because I'm not nosy like that. No, I mean, you don't ask these sort of questions. But there's a lovely photo there. Thompson was a real deal for the Krays. He worked for them. This was an article from when I was serialising my book. Mr. Thompson there. There's Charlie. That's his brothers there. That should all be in there now. Just try to show you that. So everybody in the prison was saying as well, oh, what a photo that would be, because Eddie Richardson ended up talking to the two Krays. We're old men then. Everybody's going, oh, what a photo that would be for the paper. No, I'm in the Freedom Walk Round exercise yard. So I just thought I would share that wee story today. Hope you're all good today in Glasgow and everywhere. Goodbye.